On this album, I wanted to put a lot of emphasis on musicianship and actually use some real instruments instead of just programming everything. I also saw this album as an opportunity to involve a few of my friends who enjoy playing music and wanted to get their name on something. So I had 3 amazing guest artists on this album. I had a bass player, Andrew Williamson, an electric guitar player, Piatt, and an acoustic guitar player, Ghazaleh. Andrew Williamson was my bass player. He's the bass player and vocalist and main composer for the band Wings of Steel. They do death metal. And I've known him for a few years. I actually met him in college, and we've kind of mutually supported each other's musical endeavors over the years. He makes it look like people go to my shows. I make it look like people go to his shows. We give each other anonymous donations on Bandcamp. I don't really like him that much. I mean, I guess he's alright, but he's just kind of obsessed with these weird sound effects.
I play bass on a couple of the songs on this album. You should check out Wings of Steel. We have a single called The Stabbing out on SoundCloud and YouTube and various other places. Also, I made this effect called the Babao effect. It's pretty freaking sweet. I actually spent a long time working on the intricacies of the different aspects of this effect in order to achieve maximum Babao-ness. That's the most important thing on the album. That's the only reason I agreed to do this album, so I could put that effect on there somewhere. It's like a sweet caress of the thigh to your ears, your inner ear thighs, just your little hair follicles.
Andrew's work on Warp is probably my favorite thing that he did on the album, because I was in the process of writing the song and I was like, hey, I want you to play bass on it. And he says, does it have a bass solo? I was like, it can. So I put a bass solo in, or a section for him. I put the chords in and he kind of improvised over it. And I think what we got was really, really cool. Piatt, I actually picked up at an open mic. I was at Zog's open mic in Chapel Hill one night, and there are a lot of stand-up comedians that do that particular open mic, and I find that kind of intimidating as a musician. I don't know why, but this guy gets up there with his amp, just shreds like black metal riffs for 8 minutes, and nobody really knew what to do with it, except for me, and I was like, hey, I want you to come play on my album.
My name is Raymond Piatt. I play the electric guitar. Specifically, I've been playing for about 15 years, mostly within metal, heavy metal. I like very technically influenced musicians like Inga Malmsteen, Satriani, also some of the more classical heavy metal influences like Maiden and Judas Priest. I play the electric portions, both the rhythm and the lead for some of these songs. We wrote some solos along the way. He
did a phenomenal job. We worked together really closely on 3 of the songs that are on the album. I especially like his work on Dreams. The squealy guitar solos just make me smile every time I listen to them, and I've listened to them probably 1,000 times, so if it can still make me smile, he did a good job. Ghazaleh is another friend that I met during college. It was also a class that we both just hated, but we were walking out one day and I was like, oh, you play music, why don't you come play on my album? And she said yes, and she did a really good job on Lily, the closing track on the album. And it just, it's just mellow, and I know that she worked really hard on it, and it sounds great. She was very easy to work with in the studio, and we had a great time. And she's also just a phenomenal person.
My name is Mariane, and I've been playing music since I was about 12 years old, so at this point, 10 years, almost 11. I like to play jazz, blues kind of stuff. I'm very influenced by my Brazilian background, so a lot of Brazilian kind of style music. I like to write songs, so that's why I think you and I are friends, because we both like to write songs, and it's great. When I was in high school, I recorded a few tracks with my brother on the bass, and my instructor kind of helped me out with that. So I'm on Reverb Nation. I mean, my page is pretty dead at this point. I had to kind of I had to choose, really. Am I going to dedicate full-time music, or am I dedicate full-time career? And career ended up being the one. So I still play music on the side. So it's not fully updated, but it's out there on the interwebs somewhere.
Everybody did really, really good work, and I'm very happy with the way things turned out. Like I said, they're very talented individuals.